Oh gosh, where was Santa Cruz? It was in Santa Cruz, actually. Bum. Essentia, okay, dear Essentia, I can't find my right sock. I don't know why. Oh God, I've written something for you on in Word. Snow. Avery Cameron, I'm not talking to you today. If we're talking snow, just leave. Just go away. It is not snowing today. Give me a day. Give me a day. So, da-dum. Okay, so there was nothing in there particularly about writing, so that's okay. So the rest of us, we're going to be talking about first and third person. And I'm going to ask, essentially, you're in here and you're smart too. Did you have anything you wanted to say? Signing me up for things. I just got called
Only aside
evil.
from what I just typed into the chat, yeah.
Okay, I'm going to
Oh
read
my.
what she just typed. She said, "You evil woman." No signing me up for things. No giving these people ideas. And then she laughed and stuck her tongue out at me because she's a kind, respectful daughter. Winter is coming.
That's right.
That's right. Reg Cooper, winter has been here for 7 months, and that's that's pretty good even by Game of Thrones standards. I think we did good. French wine tonight. Oh God, what is the dog behind you? That's Bella. That's my rescue dog that I got last fall. So she usually sits here and makes all kinds of noise and screams to be part of everything. So I got her own chair, which she sat here with, and then we had a hard time getting the stream started, or the XSplit couldn't seem to connect anywhere, and then she just got bored and left and went to take a nap. So Color Slide, hello. Did you have something to share with us today? You can come into the Relish Every Word live stream chat in Raid Call if you've got something.
Sea slide. Hmm.
Ava, Reg Cooper doesn't have a mic,
Okay.
but sent me a private message with his
Okay.
write-up things.
Absolutely. So Essentia can read it. You can post it in Raid Call, and I can read it. If that's awesome. Not a problem at all. That's good.
I think I might let you. I can talk today, but I can hear him sounding a little weird, and yeah, so I think I might post it for you to do it.
Okay. Go ahead and post it, and I'll read that then. While I'm waiting for that to get posted, DJ, the dog is Husky Shepherd for the most part. I think she's probably got a whole lot of different things going on, but Husky Shepherd for the most part. She was in a very abusive home for the first 10 months of her life, and then she spent the next 8 months in a kennel, being too afraid for anybody, to take her out, do anything with her, and she's come along pretty good. If you've seen any of my recordings with the dog here, you know that her fear is rapidly passing. Okay, so we have something here. First person. And this is from Reg. Is that correct? This is Reg?
Yeah, Reg Cooper.
Okay, I can feel the sun burning on my back. I'm still heading north, away from danger. I can feel the desert sand enveloping my feet like a warm, no, a hot blanket. Each time pulling on my boots, holding them down, only to let go suddenly. My throat is dry, my tongue feels like a piece of sandpaper. My last precious drops of water are in my canteen, dangling under my shoulder. But I won't drink it, not yet. The walk is tiring. I'm being cooked alive in my armor. Shiny armor, heavy plating. Not good to survive in the desert, but I have no choice. It's either being boiled alive or end up like a pincushion, just like the others. We were 5 when we left our guard post. Now there's just me. One by one, the others had shed their armor, thinking we were far enough away from danger. One by one, they found out they were wrong. The desert folk have started their offensive early this year. Every year we played the dance. Every year they came in great numbers to reclaim the desert that they had deserted the winter before. We, people of the temperate zone, can't survive the desert in summer in the scorching 60 degrees. They, the desert folk, can't survive in the winter. Then the temperature falls to a mere 30 degrees. We both need the salts from the rocks in that region to survive. If I'm lucky, I'll get to shelter before the sun reaches its highest peak and before the desert folk catch me. Cool?
Ooh.
Very nice. Ow, ow, sorry. I got something good.
Suddenly Bella.
No, it wasn't. It was me sticking my toes through the cages
Oh.
of the guinea pigs. and I went to move it, and it kind of bent in a place that doesn't really want to bend all that well.
Ouch.
Well, a little bit. Okay, so let's hear it in third person. I love that. Every year we played the dance. Nice line. That's pretty. He could feel the sun burning on his back. He was still heading north, away from danger. He could feel the desert sand enveloping his feet like a warm, no, a hot blanket, each time pulling on his boots, holding them down, only to let go suddenly. His throat was dry, his tongue feeling like a piece of sandpaper. His last precious drops of water were in his canteen, dangling under his shoulder. But he wouldn't drink it, not yet. The walk was tiring. Where did I go? I skipped something, sorry. The walk was tiring. He was being cooked alive in his armor. Shiny armor, heavy plating. Not good to survive in the desert, but he had no choice. It was either being boiled alive or end up like a pincushion, just like the others. There were 5 of them when they had left their guard post. Now there was just him. One by one, the others had shed their armor, thinking they were far enough away from danger. One by one, they had found out they were wrong. The desert folk had started their offensive early this year. Every year they played the dance. Every year they came in great numbers to reclaim the desert they had deserted the winter before. His people, the people of the temperate zone, can't survive in the desert in the summer in the scorching 60 degrees. The desert folk can't survive in the winter. When the temperature falls to a mere 30 degrees, then the temperature falls to a mere 30 degrees. Both people need the salts from the rocks in that region to survive. If he was lucky, he would get to shelter before the sun reached its highest peak, and before the desert folk caught him. So I'm going to, just opinions, and I guess I'm going to just go down the list again. Lizzie, first or third person, just and I'm going to ask a question that there may not be an actual one or other answer to. Do you have a preference, first or third person? And do you first? Do you know why? Have you thought about it?
What, Lizzie?
It's easier for me to write in first person than it is in third person.
Okay. and it is a lot of times because we're in our character's head. We don't have to find ways to get back into the character's head. Wicked Fairy, how about you? Which do you tend to prefer? Or maybe not. Wicked Fairy, are you here, sweetie? Okay.
Yes, I am.
Oh, okay. For first person, second person, do you have a preference? And have you thought about it enough to know why you might have that preference?
I don't really know. I've never really done much writing until
Okay.
this club thing, so
Well, how about from reading?
I guess second person. Oh, well, reading, I like all of them.
Okay.
I really do. Because I like first person because you really get to know the character the way they want you to know them. But second person's so much easier to see how the interactions are affecting everyone.
Yeah.
Or third person, I
Yeah.
mean.
And can you think of a time, and again, Lizzie, I'll go back to you. You said you like writing in first person. Can you think of a time when that might end up being a problem? Because that's what I found after I had written about 50 pages. Like, foiled.
Wait, what? Are you asking me?
Yeah, can you think of a time that first person, I mean, you find it easier to write in. Can you think of a time or something that you might end up writing that would be a problem?
Probably action scenes, because it'd be hard describing what the other people were doing more than what she was thinking at the time, or he was thinking at the time, kind of thing, because action scenes, like, there's so much going on at once, and first person would be their thoughts as well as what they're seeing, but they're not seeing everything.
Yeah, and I think that last part you hit on is where I found it was a problem for me. I needed some things to happen, or I needed to get some information across to the reader, and I couldn't do it from first person, because without just changing this whole story just dramatically, there was no way that I could think of, at any rate, to get that information out. And when you write in first person, the only information you ever get to share is what that character sees. That person right there, as they are seeing something, as they are feeling something. So things that are going on off stage, things that happen to other people, other conversations people are having, actions that are going on, how other people are feeling, you have no access to. You've just got the one. And I found I'd written myself in kind of a hole because I hadn't even thought about it. But it is very personal. And that, like you both have said, that it's extremely personal. You're right there.
Mm-hmm.
You are the character. And Lizzie, you were going to say something. Go ahead.
Well, I feel that writing in first person for just one character's story, like, you know how they have books that have multiple character stories that go from one character to another? Those are always in third person, usually. Unless they switch point of views, which is kind of weird to read in a book, but it's been done before, I think.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, that's probably the only time you'd want to write in first person, is when you're doing one person's story without incorporating another person's story into it. But I understand the whole wanting to have the whole red herring kind of thing going on.
And the one thing I love about first person is the red herrings can come from the character, their own misunderstandings and their own misconceptions. They can see something that's happened and they're going to describe it the way they see it. And that can be wrong. It can just be completely and totally wrong, because we misunderstand things all the time. Or we see somebody doing something and we assume it's this, and it really, doesn't have anything to do with that. And if you can portray that through your character, you can do some really fun things. Because we'll see how they see things, not necessarily how it, what's really going on. And that can be some pretty awesome red herrings all by itself. That can be really good.
Well, that's like the situation with Anne Rice's two books, Interview with the Vampire and then Vampire Lestat.
Mm-hmm.
The first one is Louis' take on everything, and then Vampire Lestat is Lestat's take on the same situation, like the same stuff.
Yeah. And it can work. I mean, you've got to be really clear about who's actually doing the talking. You've got to find a way to get that to us, and usually it'll be like a chapter or a section of the book will be from one person's point of view, and you can even within the same book, take it from another point of view. And you're right, it can be strange. It can be a little disconcerting unless you really find a way to set it up so people know without saying, okay, this is a different person, because that's not great either. Another problem with first person is describing our characters, and we don't usually have to describe our characters near as much as we think we do.
Unless they're looking in a mirror.
Yes, and that's the one that's always used, unfortunately. It's the first thing because it's easy. We all think of that one, and that gets a little trickier. So even the things where you have to set them up to say, well, I got a new haircut, I'm checking it out and describing how they feel about it, maybe, or I'm dressing up for a certain thing and I have to check out my outfit or something like that. So I mean there's lots of ways to do it. Unfortunately, most of them have been done a lot already, because it gets hard to think of some way. How do you portray that, so
if I were to continue writing from where I was, like, it would go from them escaping to them being somewhere isolated and then looking into water for the reflection to see if they're wounded.
Yeah, and you could do something, actually, you could do something like that where they're looking and you're describing the busted lip or the bruise over the eye and how the dark curly hair fell down over it, or they pushed back the dark curly hair to see, you know, the open gash above the eye. Like there are ways you could talk about how their clothes were hanging on their body, that, you know, they were, you know, they'd lost all this